Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. It is the start of 2022 and with that we will have the first couple of weeks just being group predictions of groups that I'm working on or have been working on or will continue to work on this year. And the one that we're going to start off with is BLACKPINK. So let's see what's in store for them in this 2022. The first question that we have is what is their current energy? So let's check how is BLACKPINK doing. We have the 8 of Winter reversed and the King of Winter reversed as well. So how are they currently doing? There's one more card. The Dreamer. So it seems like currently the group is going through a rough patch because we have the 8 of Winter reverse plus the King of Winter and the Dreamer all reversed. So that tells me that right now they may not feel ready to go on to new ventures. Usually the 8 of Winter talks about being in the prison of your own mind, but with it being reversed, there's a chance that they're not totally in that mentality. But because of the other cards, it tells me that they're actually a bit worse. And I'm saying that because we have the King of Winter reversed, so there's a sense of disharmony, there is a sense of not being able to speak up fully, there is a sense of not being able to think things clearly. So I do feel that these two cards next to each other kind of tell me that currently the group is in a very shaky ground, or they don't really know what to think for into the future, or they don't really know what's ahead of them, and because of that the group doesn't really know what's going on for the group's sake. I'm talking about the group as a whole, especially because we have the Dreamer reversed. The Dreamer talks about taking that leap of faith, going on to new beginnings, and being able to take on the whole world, start a new journey, start a new path, a new chapter. But with it being reversed, there's a sense of holding back somehow. And with these two cards being about Winter, which is the equivalent of Swords, this tells me that maybe they're overthinking something, or maybe they don't have enough information to know how to move forward and how to take those steps ahead in. But I feel that this is as a group. As a group, they don't really know where BLACKPINK is headed. They don't really know where it's going. They don't really know what to expect. And I think that currently they're in that energy that's a bit wishy-washy. Okay, we have the 8 of Summer. Oof, you guys are not gonna like this, but the 8 of Summer talks about walking away from something that doesn't emotionally satisfy you. So I do feel that as a group, they may not really be as interested to continue working together, or because of this wishy-washy energy that the company may be giving the group, they don't really feel is worth going back to it. Especially not right now where everything is still very up in the air. There's just kind of maybe there might not even be talks about working together as a group. So I don't think this is necessarily because the girls don't want to work together. I just feel that the company hasn't really given them any hints that that's part of the plan. So I do feel that because of that, this 8 of Summer is talking about walking away from that mentality. Instead of waiting for something to happen, they're just going to continue doing their own thing and seeing where that takes them. So that's why I'm saying Blinks will probably not be too happy with hearing about that, especially those that want a group comeback of sorts. Next, we're going to talk about what's in store for BLACKPINK's career. I will take one for the whole group. We have Watching Crescent Moon, have faith in your dreams. So as a group, it's kind of like whatever their aim is, whatever their goal is, life is definitely encouraging them to go towards that, to follow those things, to not give up for sure. So if they want to continue working as a group, the universe is definitely encouraging them to continue believing in that, and they'll be able to get it. But for now, I do feel that at least physically that energy hasn't manifested in talks, or maybe not even in thoughts. Now let's check how the rest of the group is doing. So individually, how will their career look like in 2022? So I will start off with Jisoo. There you go. So Jisoo's career for 2022. What's in store for her? We have Panther. Okay, now Jenny's career for 2022. we have Mouse. Okay. Rose's career for 2022. We have the deer. So let's see what's in store for Lisa's career for 2022. We have the owl. Interesting. So I'll start with the oldest one and go down the line. So for Jisoo, we have the panther. It's a fire element, and of course it's a panther. But the color that we see right here in the panther's eyes is a green color. So this tells me that for 2022, Jisoo will probably have to fight very hard to get any projects, or will have to stay very close to work in the things that she's passionate about. Green talks about the heart chakra, and with it being in the eyes, I'm thinking of how the eyes are the window to the soul. So I do feel, and also when you see the facial expression of that panther is one that is very fierce and ready to work, not work, but fight for what they believe in. So I believe that for Jisoo's career in 2022, she will have to fight very, very hard for those projects, those goals, or to be in the environment that she'll be comfortable in. I do feel that she will definitely have to fight for that, especially because all of the darkness around the panther kind of shows me that she will be kind of walking into the unknown. She will definitely be surrounded by a bunch of mystery and not seeing things clearly, because I don't feel that there's a path that is set on stone for her. So I do feel that this shows that she will just have to continuously work hard for whatever it is that she's aiming for in her career. So this year is going to be filled with obstacles and challenges for her. For Jennie, we have Mouse, and we have an earth element. Again, this mouse is surrounded by darkness, so I think the theme of being on the unknown, not knowing where to go or where she's headed, kind of continues on to the next member. So Jennie will also feel like she doesn't really know where she's going and where things are headed. Also, this glowy lights tells me that she's definitely protected and divinely guided, so her guides are actively working with her, and she seems to, even if she's not fully aware of it, she is definitely able to follow her heart, and that is a form of working with her guides. The other thing that we have with the mouse is that Jennie may feel very scared or frightened. That's why I was kind of surprised when this card came up. I don't really see Jennie in that light. So I do feel that in her career, she may feel very nervous that things are not as solid as she will want them. Or maybe she's starting into a new project and she doesn't really know where it's going. But the first thing that I thought was that maybe Jennie is not having as many concrete projects as she would like. And because of that, it's not guaranteed that she will have the work that she would like in her career for this year. So I do feel that maybe that's why there's this mouse energy. Mouse is the card represents working with other people, because there's a sense of, in numbers there is power type of thing. But with this mouse, there's also a sense of being nervous, that things are not super clear, and again, this sense of the path is not super concrete, it's not super clear. And I do feel that with Jennie, there's this sense of that is a very big deal for her. So it's one of those things that maybe she puts a lot of energy into her career, so that's why when things are not super clear or it's not working the way that she will want, that brings her a lot of nervousness and a lot of anxiety. So that's a thing. Again, so all of that darkness tells me that there's a lot of unknown, so she just kind of has to trust her heart in believing that things are gonna get better, or just believing that she's in the right path. Now, the next person that we have is the odd one out, funnily enough, and that is Rose. So she has the deer. This is also an earth element, but with all of the green, it also tells me that there's this sense of working from her heart space. There's all of this white tells me that if things are clear or not for Rose, at least she is in a space where she's pretty happy and content. She seems to be pretty optimistic about how things are gonna work out in her career for this year. She also seems to just be taking things very lighthearted, like she's just doing what she wants when she wants it, and she's going with the flow, so that makes things a lot easier. The deer tells me about someone that is very pure and innocent, so I do feel that this kind of shows that there's no baggage that she's carrying for this new year, so there's nothing that's like heavily worrying her in her career. So that tells me that she, out of like everybody in her group, Rose is the only one that is definitely a little bit more optimistic, and it's a little bit more happy, and it's a little bit more content with the direction that her career is going, because I feel that unlike the rest, Rose is a little bit she can adapt a little bit more with the flow. She can definitely just adapt accordingly and just do things as they go and as they come. So she's not super worried if things are not going the way that she wanted it, because she's able to just kind of adapt very quickly and just change plans if it needs to. But it also feels like she doesn't have the mentality of things have to be exactly like this. So she's able to let go of control in that sense and just allow things to happen the way that they have to, and she just does what she wants to do with the energy that's coming through, if that makes sense. So for Rose's career, she feels very lighthearted, very optimistic, because she's not really expecting anything, or she's not doing it in a way that makes her be fearful of what's ahead. The last person that we have for Blackpink is Lisa, and here we have the owl, we have the element of air, so that makes me think of thoughts, ideas, and communication. There's a bit of orange and yellow, so that kind of shows that there's this sense of Lisa is going for what she's very passionate about, what brings her confidence, what makes her happy and optimistic about life. However, there are small lights within all of this darkness as well. So I do feel that Lisa is also a bit worried of the unknown, or she doesn't really know where to go or where things are headed for her career. However, this owl tells me that she has the wisdom of knowing that despite things not being super clear, she will be able to take on everything, because owls are very good at seeing at night, or surviving in the dark, let's put it that way. So I do feel that also because the owl is white, that seems like a very strong contrast with the dark background that the owl is in. So that makes me think that she is her own light, if that makes sense. So Lisa is able to just be her to stay optimistic in a sense, because she is able to use the tools that she has already in her favor, if that makes sense. So this tells me that in Lisa's career, even if she doesn't know where she's headed, or even if she doesn't know where things are going, or even if she doesn't have a clear path to take for her career, she trusts a lot in herself, and because of that, that allows her to have the wisdom on how to move forward in a blind path. So, she trusts in taking that next step without being reassured that it will be successful. Because she seems to be, with this owl, it feels like someone that has the understanding of who they are and their power. And because of that, she knows that it doesn't matter where she falls or where she's going, she will be able to handle it. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. So, it seems like the common theme for all of Blackpink is a very undetermined path, or a lot of unknowns are here in the way, but everyone's taking it differently, having to be aggressive to make their dreams come true, someone that's a bit nervous, someone that has no baggage with the unknown, and then someone that trusts in themselves so blindly to the point that they do not fear what's not being afraid of what they cannot see. Now, the last question that I have is any healing messages or any advice for Blackpink for this 2022. So we have full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. Full moons talk about the ending of stuff. I do have to reassure Blinks that the end doesn't necessarily mean that there's nothing ahead. Usually full moons talk about the end of a cycle. So there's a sense of something's ending, so another thing can begin. So I feel that many of you may fear like maybe there's not, like, the group is going to disband or something, which I don't really think that's the case. I just think that if it was for the group, there wouldn't be any need to disband. It would just be that the company's not allowing them to work together because the company doesn't really care about that, if that makes sense. To me, it just feels that they're all working individually because they can easily fight for that. But to vouch for the group, that will require a lot of coordination and stuff. And I do feel that for the company, it's kind of like, but do we want that? Music? I don't know that. I don't know what music is. You know, which seems like a lot of the music industry companies out there don't even kind of forget their music industry. They're part of the music industry. Is that? Anyway, let's see what else is here. Advice for Blackpink for 2022. Let me take more cards out and then we can talk about them. Okay, I'm okay with that. So there's a lot of purples right here with Blackpink. So that kind of tells me this sense of being intuitive, following a path, like divine guidance, that higher power out there, like following that, trusting in the unknown and trusting that things are happening the way that they have to happen, that type of thing. So if we look at the cards here, we have Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move. North Node, step out of your comfort zone. And then Full Moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. So we have 2 full moons, so it definitely feels like the group is going through the end of something. Maybe, you know, we have Scorpio and Aquarius, so it definitely feels like reinventing themselves or working on themselves to be this new image, this new person, this new characteristic. I don't know why that came up. A new personality. They're working towards their goals in such a way that it's transforming them as individuals as well. So I do feel that the advice that they have is just to continue going through that transformation, to let go of the things that don't work for them, so they can start moving into an energy that they're more comfortable with. Okay, comfortable may not be the right word, but one that they're desiring to be. Especially with this Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move. It feels very close to what the dreamer or the fool represents. It's someone that trusts in themselves to just take the next step, you know, take the leap of faith to start a new cycle, a new path, a new beginning, a new journey. So I do feel that Blackpink is being encouraged to just continue going through the transformations that they're going through to become the people that they want to be, especially with this North Node. The North Node in astrology talks about our destiny. It talks like where we're headed. So I do feel that here is just saying, you know, it may be a bit uncomfortable to go out of their comfort zone, but it will definitely be very rewarding because that's kind of what they're aiming for. If they're conscious of it or not, it doesn't really matter. That's kind of what their heart and soul is like going towards or searching for or aiming to get. I do feel that this Scorpio energy is kind of saying that, you know, it's not necessarily advice as much as it is kind of a warning of sorts, that the transformation that they're going through is going to be intense. It's going to be difficult because it's going to be challenging. It will be challenging their way of thinking, or it will be challenging the surrounding environment they are in. So they will definitely be challenged, and because of that, it's going to be very difficult. When you release negativity, you're going through a period of letting go of the baggage. So we are kind of working in the sense of letting go of that comfort zone, because many people stay in their comfort zone because that's what they know, and even if it's not healthy for them, it's still something that they're familiar with, so it makes it very difficult to walk out of that. And I do feel that with the Scorpio energy, it's just kind of saying that it's going to be difficult, it's going to be intense, so it's going to be very overpowering sometimes. So that seems more like a warning of like that's the feeling that's coming through. Here we also have Aquarius. Aquarius talks about being innovative, going beyond the limits, breaking limitations of sorts, being different and all of that. So it's of those things that if Blackpink is afraid, you know, not necessarily as a group, but also individually, if they're afraid of showing the world who they truly are, or they're kind of under the idea that they have to be a certain way, maybe as individuals or just being part of the industry, so their public image, doesn't really matter which one it is, it's still a transformation that they're going through. But this card is definitely giving them the advice that they have to show who they truly are, so like that they can just be a lot more comfortable. It's kind of like, you know, those people that are so much themselves that they don't really care how people react. They don't care how people take them. That's just how they are. And it's kind of like, it makes it easier to let go of people or situations that is not for them, because it's kind of like, you know, this is how I am, take it or not. It doesn't matter. That's kind of like the attitude that I'm seeing here, or like the energy that I'm feeling. Also with this Aquarius energy, there's this sense of just breaking boundaries, going beyond limitations, thinking outside the box. So I do feel that this is definitely encouraging the sense of going with the flow, even though Aquarius is not necessarily known for that. But because Aquarius is not necessarily afraid of being different, it goes along with those lines. Again, Aquarius is a fifth sign, so whatever they believe in is something that it's unshakable. So they believe in change, they believe in transformation, and they believe in being different. So I do feel that that's being encouraged for Blackpink. But definitely the stepping out of the comfort zone is not going to be easy. However, if they're bold and take the first move, they'll be able to show the world who they truly are, and that will be a good way of showing to themselves that they are transforming and letting go of any negativity they may be holding on to. So letting go of the baggage type of thing. So with all of that said, I am done for Blackpink's predictions for 2022. One of my goals for this year is to be a lot more direct and straightforward with my readings, so I do hope that all of that made sense. I was hoping that I wouldn't go too crazy and just, beating around the bush. I want to be more straightforward, so like that my readings are a lot more concise and informative rather than super lengthy and all of my rambling sense going out. So, with less is more, that type of mentality. But thank you so much for everyone that watched this video. I want to say is watching. Well, the video's not over, so you're still watching. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and everything. It's a new year, so I do hope that it was a decent start of your year. And if not, let's just hope that it gets better from here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one whenever that is. Love and healing from my part to you. And see you in the next one. Bye.